Hey everybody, what's up? Danny here, and I want to share with you today the 5 steps to automate your Kindle publishing business. So, for those of you who are publishing Kindle books, one of the questions I get a lot is, how do you step away from this and make this more of a passive income business? Now, first and foremost, no business is really fully passive. You really have to kind of keep a pulse on your business to make sure things are running smoothly. But you can leverage some really awesome ways to delegate and manage your business by finding the right tools, the right framework, and the right support. And so we're going to cover that today. And the 5 keys. There's no there's no hidden agenda here. This is just really what it is. Number one, first and foremost, you have to know your process and build a system. Without a process and without a system, you're going to find yourself very disorganized. You're not going to be able to publish books on a consistent routine schedule. And the quality of those books may fall few and far between as well as a result. So number one is make sure you have a process around your publishing workflow. Everything including, from hiring a writer to getting an ebook cover designed to editing the books and to publishing the books and essentially making money from them. So that's number one. Number two, really these are in no particular order, but these are really things you need to start considering. Number two is minimize waste, and in the lean sort of approach, this is a Kaizen and really focusing on continually improving your process. So minimizing the waste is looking for steps in your process that aren't contributing to the end goal. So, if you're looking to publish a book and you see that, maybe you've been using a Google spreadsheet to manage all of your books, and you're recording data in that spreadsheet that, quite frankly, you're never going to need. You're never going to go back. You're never going to look at it. You're never going to need it. So it's just excess waste. And really it's what I call digital waste. And that when you actually go back to those spreadsheets, your head kind of spins because you have so much data that you're trying to track that you really don't have a reason for that data. So we want to make sure that when we're capturing data, that it's something that we're actually going to be using to help, whether it's measuring our ROI or bottom line, or something that's going to contribute to the overall end goal. So again, you don't want to be recording things in Google spreadsheets that you're never going to use. And one of the biggest forms of waste I see is that people use something like Google spreadsheets for managing their projects. And people continue to do it, and if it works for you, that's fine. But I'll continue to say that it's not the best way to do it. In fact, visualizing your workflow. If you look at number 3 here, visualizing your workflow, it involves using a tool that is going to help you. And we're going to go over the shoulder in just a moment, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to want to use a tool that's going to help you manage each of your individual books that you're publishing. And number 4, hire a virtual assistant. Okay, I can't stress this enough. Too many people try doing everything in their business, in their Kindle business, and other businesses as well, but in their Kindle business, and really you're hurting yourself because you can't scale up if you are the bottleneck. So hiring a good virtual assistant is a challenge, but it's definitely one of the most important things you can do, because when you become a better leader, and this is going right into number 5, you want to lead your business. You don't want to be stuck in your business. And so when you start to lead, start to hire a virtual assistant, that's great, but you want to make sure you lead and you don't micromanage. So you're going to want to put incentives for your virtual assistant to meet certain targets and to slowly develop over time and give them more autonomy, because that's another thing that I find that people don't necessarily do as well. They sit over their virtual assistant like a hawk and micromanage them to death, and they eventually end up quitting, or the people who are hiring the virtual assistant end up giving up on delegation to begin with. And I think that's a big mistake because it's only going to hurt. Forget about Kindle for a minute. It's only going to hurt any business that you try to start if you don't become a more effective leader. Okay, so let's go over to Shoulder real quick and I'll show you. So I use MeisterTask for managing my workflow. And this is any projects. I use workflow because it's really what it is. I mean, any project workflow that you have, whether it's with ebooks or any other business, this is very, very effective. And this comes from the Agile sort of Scrum and Kanban world for software development. I've been involved in software projects and IT infrastructure projects in my former career, and it just works. It works really well. So I've got 3 books here, and you have some maybe you have book ideas that you already have that you want to put in sort of a opening column. You haven't started working on them yet, and then you can just drag and drop them as you're starting to work on them. Okay, so let's say I have 3 books that I want to publish, that I want to start working on and publishing. I don't want to work on any more than 3, so I'm going to have these 3 in my in progress column. And as long as these 3 are in my in progress column, I'm not going to be pulling any other work in there because I'm going to be overloading myself or overloading my team if I am exceeding that sort of work in progress limit is what you call it for the projects that I have going on. Okay, so then after that, you just drag them over to done when you're finished with your publishing, with your editing, your book covers, all of those things, your metadata in your Kindle book, actual book listing on Kindle, and then yes, so essentially you're using a simple framework to manage your books in their development life cycle. And you can call these columns anything you want. You can even call the columns, editing. You can create a column here for cover design. Just to give sort of phases for your workflow on where these books may sit. So you may have. I'm going to move all these books over here again real quick. But you may have a book that it's still in the cover design phase, and then you have books that have gone past that, and maybe they're in the editing phase, right? And so you have another column that you can create. And by the way, this program is free. There are lots of other programs. I find this one to be very, very easy to use. It's very visually attractive as well. So cover design, it's finished. You move it over to editing, and boom, you just move it from left to right across the life cycle until it's done. Okay, so really that's it in a nutshell. If you want to automate your Kindle business, if you are doing Amazon Kindle publishing or considering it, you want to make sure that you think about these things. As you get started, as you publish, as you continue to publish, and as you move forward, so many people give up on the Kindle business because they say that it's too much time. Well, yeah, it's too much time if you're doing everything yourself, right? But if you're hiring someone to do it for you, then that's a key mindset that you need to embrace, because it's only going to help you make more passive income over time. Again, not just in a Kindle business, but if you decide to do anything else later on, whether it's Shopify, e-commerce, physical products, or drop shipping, whatever it is that you're looking to do, you're going to need to start building a team. Okay, and so what better way to learn than to learn now, especially if Kindle business is your first kind of venture in the online marketing and business world. So anyway, I hope this video helps you, and if you have any comments, go ahead and leave them below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel you'll get more tips on not just Kindle business tips, but tips on how to be more efficient and look for ways to improve your process in your business and become a better leader. So again, my name is Danny, and go ahead and click subscribe below, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Take care.